Hello everyone, and welcome back to the village of Downhill One Way, where there's excellent news! It turns out that just perhaps this child of prophecy will not cause us to have to kill a bunch of innocent bunnies, which is always a good thing, I do believe. I would hate to have to to begin our sacrifice bunnies, just because we have taken in a little lost orphan. An orphan who has not yet gained a name, because he is not yet part, or they, I should say, they are not yet part of our wonderful tiny village. We have no room at the inn, or even an inn, or basically anywhere. Did you get it? Anywhere? For this little one to go just yet, and I thought that that meant that we would now need to move on to preparing ourselves for learning how to raise the bunnies of bounty, our sacrifice bunnies, to give us leather. However, then I recalled something. For did our druids not read in the chirping of the rabbits, because apparently they make birdsong in our village, the signs of the village hall, which does actually allow you to have 6 commoners, which would mean that we would have more room. We could put one of the kids and even get it like a little friend to play with in the village hall once we go ahead and we actually upgrade our little village tent to the hall. And we can do that after we have enough wood and enough stones collected. Unfortunately, that is not today, but I do have Silver Umbreon and Wren gathering wood, and Larkspring and Cobalt Knight gathering the stone. Hopefully by tomorrow we will be able to go ahead and build the inn, welcome this little one and another little one in, and then desperately start trying to gather as much food as we can because winter is indeed coming. Now that we have managed to go ahead and get the copper mining ready to go, we still need to train a miner, which means we still need to get like somebody involved with making tools. Once we have a miner and once we have a couple copper bars, then we can have glop. Once we have our researchers, or excuse me, our druids actually go ahead and work their way through a whole bunch of other things first, of course. You know, like the rabbit hutch, and then making leather out of the rabbits, and then fabric. So there's still a little bit of a ways to go, but I'm really optimistic about that. Darn, and actually, okay, I can make cottages in the future, but the cottages don't hold commoners. So even though like I wish we didn't have to kill the bunnies and we could just go ahead and like use the wood and the stone to make cottages, unfortunately it would only hold the buy your cheese class. Yes, I'm gonna bring that back because it's still difficult for me to say bourgeoisie or whatnot. All right, well, that's the good news. We can kind of put off having to go ahead and have the bunnies be sacrificed so that we can focus instead on being able to go ahead and just work our way to the food right now. Is that what we should do? Maybe, but we could research faster if we had a paper maker and a scribe. However, the hemp wood maker is going to be something that really holds us back in the future because we need to have much hemp in order to make a bunch of wood, or we will just be spending forever having a bazillion people spend their lives just pecking away at trees. And that means... I can make the toolsmith. Oh, wait a second. Okay, because we can go straight to carpentry. All right, so this is going to be a little interesting, but we might do the toolsmith next because if we, well, actually, let's do the hemp. We'll start growing hemp and barley, and if we have the extra people for it, storing it, because better to have those things stored and ready to go than not have them when we get the more complicated things prophesized from our druids and know how to actually use the bigger machinery. Better to have the raw material prepared, in other words. And speaking of raw material and nature, which is not the smoothest segue, but there we go. We have also jogged our memory beans, and now we have gone ahead and we can unlock a new memory with none other than dun, 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 dun. Gardens! Woo! Gardens, gardens, gardens! What are they doing? What do they look like? It's so pretty! An oasis of peace in the midst of the harsh world that is our life. Some pips tended to the flowers as if they were their children. It gives you beauty. Some buildings are just refreshing to see and admire. Pips can spend time around these beautiful places to improve their morale. Oh, wow. So then it gets beauty added to it, and you have to have a gardener to tend to it, I think. Oh, but look at that. So then for the water you give it, it gives you hope and nature. Be still my heart. You have to have a bunch of flowers to build it, which makes so much sense. Yes. Oh, that sounds so cute. And look at the little gardener class. That's one of the hats that I love the most. These pips spent their time sniffing every flower they could find and then listing its properties. Boring pips, if you ask me. Blah, that is definitely something that I absolutely do. And it looks like we do need to have specialized tools in order to train the gardener as well. Ooh, a park! Surrounded by all flowers, pips found the peace they were looking for. From the bench, they could see the whole village burning, but it still felt like all was fine. Hope and nature just for sitting in it? Oh my gosh, that would be so nice. And it counts as beauty, and you can even heal just 3 distressed pips at once with flowers there. Okay, that is amazing, and it adds a new event. And next time we can either go ahead and we can learn about poisoning or we could learn about higher knowledge. Huh. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I like the garden part a little bit more, I'm not gonna lie. Is gardening available to us? Would that be community, maybe? Did we unlock something new? Maybe? Growth? Cultivation is where I would think you would find a garden. Maybe? Or maybe, I bet it might be locked behind altar, actually. Because it generates a whole bunch of the, well, maybe not. Because it generates a bunch of the nature protection. So I wonder if it is behind altar. Well, we will have to wait in order to see. For now, I suppose we will continue on with tilled soil and growing those raw materials. Phew, excellent. Took a bit of a moment to go ahead and get our feet under ourselves with so much to do. And gardens! But obviously, the answers to the prophecies and how to survive that we have gained from the rabbits would be more flowers. Like, the solution is always more flowers. All right, and we have researched the tilled soil. And it adds soil terrain. But I don't know if, like, I don't know if they need that. It doesn't like add a boost or anything. Like it just is soil. So I think that's just to make your fields stand out a little nicer maybe? Because you can build gardens or you can plant things on things that, or plant things on things. You can plant your crops upon things that are not even the gardens, but we'll have to see. All right, let's work on the hemp field. +1 for each field within 1. It grows during summer and autumn. And then the flowers are after that. Yeah, let's work on the hemp research next. All right, and now this little child who is still looking for somewhere warm to sleep, we'll go ahead and we will see if we can upgrade. Yes! The village hall. Oh dear, that's gonna take 5 days. Uh-oh. Little Rapa here is going to become unhoused in 2 days. Perhaps we should have our healer, Dynamans, get ahead of things just a little bit, just in case, with the sickness, because I think what happens when your pip becomes homeless is that they can generate some sickness, maybe? And I would very much, yeah, there's no gained resources from having the tilled soil. I do think it's just so that you know, like, where your crops are. if you don't have eyes that can find the carrots. But not everybody can recognize plants. That's fine. It's okay. Let's see. And otherwise, the research continues. We are still gathering stones, but Larkspring, I might have you change jobs with our tool crafter, Silver Umbreon, and come over and upgrade the village hall instead, so that Silver Umbreon can finish making the tools. Excellent. See, Pips? Everyone is still alive, though we are actually, now with the addition of the child, going to need to be quite aware of the fact that we're needing at least one more Pip to gather food if we're going to be able to feed everybody in the near future. Do we live a life on the verge of starvation? Yes. But at least it is a grand and noble life indeed. I am a little nervous about what to do with this like little orphan we adopted though. The poor thing's just like out in the cold every night right now, and it's still going to be 4 days before we're able to finish getting this built. So we're going to have to see how that turns out. And it looks like we're out of bandages. So I'm going to have Dinomans make another one just to stay ahead of any kind of sickness thing that might happen. So we're going to have a heat event and then a cataclysm. And then actually something to do with the cold. Ah, that's right. We should probably be ready for that too. So I might need to get a bonfire soon, which means... all right, Dinomans, I actually need you to gather some wood instead, just in case we need to go ahead and we need to use that wood as a bonfire. Or maybe I should have you... It's only 2 days to the end of the season. I might have you tackle a plum tree. Any of the plum trees that we haven't yet tackled that are in our territory. Wow, we've actually done really well at making sure we're harvesting from as many of the plum trees as possible. I'm plum proud of us. Excellent. We may start eating carrots soon because there are many things that only want fruit and don't take vegetables. Like making some of the plum juice, for instance, for our pubs. And then also, I'm trying to think, there's a couple other things that only want fruit. Uh-oh. I see an unknown event coming. The vision is confusing, but there is hope. We can fight it. What is it, Elder? Oh, Cataclysm? Pah, you mean a blessing from the nature spirits? Oh no, the Cataclysm threat. It's at 1. Whatever will we do? How will we, with our, like 89 nature, possibly prepare ourselves for that? I am so frantic. Ah. Yeah, let's go ahead and gather these carrots if we're out of plum trees. Look at that. I'm so proud of us for pecking through so many of our plum trees. Really not happy that we still have a little, kidlet who has nowhere to go, though. That's not so much fun. Ooh, and actually, it is time! We can have a miner! Cobalt Knights, if you don't mind, would you like to come over and take the fresh off of the workbench tools from Silver Umbreon's Embrace and start, smacking at rocks with a pointy stick, basically? Because that sounds kind of cool when you put it like that. All right. So now we've got the hemp researched. I think we're still... I don't know how far away we would be from bread and barley. I am a little tempted to go that route, but I think it's time to work towards preparing the Glopination. Because... Oh, or the bonfire. Okay, let's do bonfires and then we'll work on Glopination. Also, hang in there, little kidlet. Oh man, I really hope we can feed this guy soon. Or well, we're feeding him, but I meant give him a house, shelter. So the poor thing just isn't out in the cold. I mean, it's not the nicest thing, but maybe we think the wild rabbits can go ahead and raise him for us. Maybe that's kind of what's going on. The cold threat rises. The Elder had a vision of cold. Boy, do I ever feel really cool. I am full of puns today. Oh my gosh. My poor husband must be like feeling like a cold breeze on the back of his neck and he doesn't even know why. It's because I'm full of punishment over here on the other end of the house. Dun dun dun. I say house, it's a little apartment. Bonfire. We burned a lot of wood to keep warm during the cold winter nights. Some pips would wander too close to the fire. Probably burn all their marshmallows too. Though, you know, growing up as a child, it always felt like burning the marshmallows was a lot more fun than actually getting to eat them. All right, we are going to need a watcher watching a large bonfire, but again, we don't want our pips tumbling in after all. And we should go ahead and think with our druids and the rabbits, we should definitely give it some thought of, if small fire good, big fire better. So we'll work on that. And then the little baby grew up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think bad things may, oh dear. Okay, I don't think they're feeling very well and they're pretty sleep deprived. 2 more days. And then if we are able to formally accept this one into our community, we'll be able to go ahead and give them a home and everything's gonna be fine. And I'll have to see if this pip is able to go ahead and work, because maybe they can't, because I mean, don't blame them. Oh no! She is still gonna like put her best in, even though she's so exhausted. Well, we do need to gather that wood for the bonfire, so I'm sorry. Let's see. And then we'll take a break from tools for just a moment. Silver Umbreon, if you don't mind going ahead and mining some more stones so that we are prepared with the bonfire. And then there's nothing we can do to generate heat just yet, huh? Except a small bonfire. And actually, it looks like we want to be ready with that. Where should I have this be? Like, to be honest, I feel like the bonfire is just kind of like random. So maybe we'll put it up here. It might be kind of fun. Like we can make sacrifices to the flame demons to fight back the frost demons for once. We'd change our allegiances once a year, but you know, it's the way the elections work or something like that. All right, so we'll get that built. Should we have 2 of them built? So that we can have a little bonfire going as well? Because some of these cold events really kicked our rump last time. And if we can make a little progress, okay, let me think. Out of everybody we could pull off of doing any work, I don't think we want our druids not working. All right. Carry on, Larkspring, carry on. You are ever so close. Ooh, in the hemp fields. Definitely need to get these planted pretty soon too. You are ever so close to finishing the construction of our new town hall and providing home and housing to this orphan we have allowed to be raised by rabbits, basically. I feel really bad we didn't have more room. Hang in there, hang in there. Okay, so she screamed and then just collapsed on the ground. Oh no. Hang in there, friend. The large fires were perfect for keeping the whole village warm. Less perfect from keeping it from burning down completely. Yes, which is why actually putting it far away from everything else in the village feels like that was a really smart choice. Oh, and it looks like we can just straight up upgrade one of them like right away once we get enough wood. I like that too, but at the moment, we don't even need to upgrade it to stay ahead of this event. I think. Maybe. All right. We'll see how that works out. We could make the cloak maker, which would help for healing frozen pips. That needs to wait until we have both special tools and we have some sort of fabric material made from something. I think it's time. As the winter draws nigh, it may be time to speak of the great sacrifice that may be demanded from our bunnies. We must prepare ourselves. And yay! The village hall is built. Mining training has been completed by Cobalt Knight. And even if the seasons are growing colder, we now... Come on, we should have a home for you now. Come on, come on. There's enough room here. That should count as a house, right? Like, Yay, rabbit hutch researched! Okay, you should have a home now. Because there's 4 out of 7 pips. So I think that will count. I don't think our newest pip is homeless anymore. Homeless? How do I fix that then? We have a home for you. Maybe tonight she will realize you can come in, wild rabbit child, and we will welcome you to our community. Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe. All right, my friends, thank you so for joining us on our adventures here in the village of Downhill One Way. We apparently still have a few quirks to work out, quite literally, like my punishment. But we will carry on and we will see where the forces of the nature gods and the cold demons, and I really should start writing down what's what so that we know what we're fighting against, has in store for us next time. Until then, stay curious. Bye-bye.